Hey everyone, I wanted to let you guys know that I found a temporary fix for my rocking issue with my snap-in horseshoe. Um, I applied some DenSure Fit, sorry guys I can't stand, to the back side of the issue that was loose today. I actually recorded almost the whole video and realized after I applied the silicone to the horseshoe that I had applied it to the wrong side. So I had to take that off and redo the whole thing. So if you are going to use DenSure Fit for any reason, make sure you take your time. I wasted a whole tube of silicone and the stuff is too valuable to do that. So I've got a good fit now, and hopefully this will hold me until I'm able to get into the dentist on October the 18th and have them make some adjustments, okay? So I'm going to kind of walk you through the steps of what I did. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is clean and dry your denture really good, okay? Okay guys, so I have my denture out. It's already got DenSure Fit on it, but if I was getting ready to start this over, I would take this out. I am going to use some Dr. B's cleaning it. I've just put a little bit on the toothbrush, and I'm going to take and brush the entire denture, front and back, rinse it with some warm water, and pat it dry really good. Now, since I already have the DenSure Fit on it, and if you are in a case or in a situation where you have DenSure Fit on your plate already, you want to be really careful when you're brushing. Don't brush it too rough, because it could cause tears in the application, and then that would cause lifting. Then you would have to take the whole application off and start over. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I got my denture brushed, cleaned, and dried really well, okay? So now I've got everything out ready to go. Here is my primer, okay, my denture. I've got one tube of silicone. That is all. I'm going to use a whole tube over on this side, and I've got my applicator for the primer, okay? First step is going to be taking your applicator, you dip it down in the primer. Dip it, which I'm not going to do because I've already done this. Dip, pull out, and you want to place the primer on every spot of the denture that you're going to be using silicone. In my situation, it was just this area over here, okay? So I put primer from just below this O-ring all the way down, okay, and around in here. So you put that on. Okay, that sits on for 2 minutes. I normally set the timer on my stove for 2 minutes. Once that goes off, you are ready to apply your silicone, okay? So I want to show you on this tube, which I've showed this before. This has an arrow. Do not make the mistake I did when I first started using DenSure Fit. You turn this towards the arrow, okay, in the direction of the arrow. Once it clicks, it's ready to use. What I normally do is I go ahead and start expressing the DenSure Fit. You'll see it come through the tip here. Once it gets to the end, then I'm ready to put it on my denture. Okay, so this side over here is where I need silicone. So what I did earlier is I took a whole tube from about here all the way down. I put it all in here, a whole tube, okay? Once you get that in, you take the denture, put it in, and it sits in your mouth for 4 minutes. Now, you notice that I snapped mine in. If you're using this just on a regular denture, you're going to put it in your mouth like you're putting a denture in with adhesive, and you're going to press up on your suction spot, which is about right here, okay? since I have a horseshoe, and I'm just doing it back here, DenSure Fit told me to put it in, snap it in, and not to clench my teeth, but for 4 minutes to bite down normal. Okay, so I set the timer on my stove, and off and on I did a normal bite. Okay, once 4 minutes is up, right guys, once the 4 minutes is up, I took my horseshoe out, and I had quite a bit of excess, because again, I used a whole tube of silicone in that small area. What I did notice, and what I was going to tell you guys earlier, is if you are using this with implants and a snap-in denture, you have to be very careful. You do not want to get that silicone anywhere near those O-rings. That's the holes that the implants snap into. I thought I had done a pretty good job because I didn't start applying the silicone till I didn't apply it right right underneath the O-ring. I went like, hang on, let me show you. Okay, I started about right here, I think, and then just filled in all the way down here. Okay, but here's what happened. When you put the denture in, of course, the silicone spreads out. So after 4 minutes, when I took it out to trim the excess, that silicone had gotten over and around the first 3 O-rings. So what I had to do was, of course, I went in and trimmed around the excess over here on the side. There was excess on the opposite side of the horseshoe, and then I was able to lift the silicone that had gotten over the hose. I lifted that up and cut that back. So now I only have silicone right below the O-ring all the way down to the end of the horseshoe, okay? And I tell you what, guys, I don't have any more rocking. It's worked wonders for me. I do want to make sure that I state, in my situation, this is only a temporary fix. Since I have implants, I shouldn't have to use this. But things happen, and especially since I'm new with this permanent, that I had extractions about a year ago, my gums are still shrinking some. So, like I said, it's a temporary fix. Now, when I had my temporary plate, I was using DenSure Fit because at that time, my implants were not in use. I had just a full denture, and I was using adhesive to keep that in. So during that point in my journey, I used DenSure Fit as a replacement, so I did not have to use adhesive, and it worked wonders. I had several soft relines at the dentist, and with me being new to this process, I'm not going to blame it on the people at the dentist office, because it was a matter of me knowing exactly where I needed that reline material and what worked best for me. And I didn't realize that till I was almost done in my temporary. But for my situation, if I have too much silicone or too much of the dentist reline on the palate area, I can't keep it in. About this last soft reline that I had the dentist do on my temporary, I had them not put as much on the palate and just put it in the front around my trough or trowel, and I was able to keep the denture in without any adhesive. So it's a matter of you getting used to your denture and knowing what works best for you. Something that works for me may not work for you. So everyone and every situation is different. Okay, now also, DenSure Fit has come out with a new snug up kit. Okay, I want to show you the card. It comes with a little instruction card. Front and back, tells you exactly how to do it. Sorry, I'm covering my face. I have done videos in the past on where I had used DenSure Fit and I had only used a partial tube. Well, when I very first started using it, I wasn't aware that you could use a partially used tube of DenSure Fit, so I threw quite a few of them away. And then towards the end, I realized that you could use a partially used tube of DenSure Fit, but that you had to remove the tip. In the past, you would have to remove this, express. In the past, you would have to remove this, express the silicone through the red part of here on the plate, mix it, and then scoop it and put it in your denture. You don't have to do that anymore. They have come up with a snug up applicator, or a snug up kit now. So if you have a partially used tube of DenSure Fit, or if you get a kit and you realize that you don't need to use a whole tube of silicone, that you just need a little bit for a snug up, do not throw the remainder of the silicone away. Because when you go back to use that again, what you will do is you'll unscrew the old applicator tip, replace it with one of the ones they send you, and you are able to use the partial tube of DenSure Fit. So this is really great. I'm excited and glad that they came out with this. I will say, make sure you read this card that they send you if you get a snug up kit, because it is going to tell you, do not unscrew the old applicator tip and put the new one on until you are ready to use the remainder of the silicone in the tube. Okay, so what you would do is you would go ahead and put your primer on your plate. Well, if you're doing a snug up application, you don't need primer. So sorry about that. If you are doing a new application and you just want to use the remainder of a DenSure Fit thing, then you would put your primer on your clean plate, let that sit for 2 minutes, and then you would not replace these tips or applicator tips until you are ready to express the silicone. Okay, and another thing that DenSure Fit has now are these little pads. This is a Unisalt pad. This helps to remove your DenSure Fit. If you have a DenSure Fit application on that is old that you need to replace, if you take one of these pads, lift the the silicone, and start rubbing this under it, this will help to remove that old silicone easier. I've actually used these in the past, so I saw these or have seen these before I got them from DenSure Fit. I had a man that I took care of for years that had muscular dystrophy. He used or had a Texas catheter, which is also a condom catheter. It's not an internal, it's like an external catheter. And I had 2 different pads that I had to use. One was a prep that you put on before you put the condom on, and then in the morning when he got up and I was ready to take that off, I would take one of these Unisolves and use it to free that sticky stuff from the skin and the condom. So these things are excellent, and I actually got to use one earlier when I messed up. I think I told you guys, I put the silicone on the wrong side of the horseshoe and realized it after I had already used a whole tube. So I was able to get most of that off before it set. Used warm water and brushed, and the remainder of it that was still on, I took one of these Unisol pads and it cleaned it right off. So these things are great. Okay, I want to show you one more time. I don't know if you can see, if I put it up close, let me get it to focus, you can see the DenSure Fit. I didn't do a really good job You can see back here that there's an area here. You see this area here? I mean, there's silicone covering all of this, but for some reason, I don't know how I did that. I'm not sure, but it's still for a temporary fix until I can get into the dentist and have them fix it with the hard reline. This is helping the rocking. I've got a snug fit again. Okay guys, that's all I have. I just wanted to show you and let you guys know that I did use the DenSure Fit on my rocking issue, and it is working great. So anybody has any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Also, just a reminder, I am giving away 3 of the DenSure Fit kits once I reach 1,000 subscribers. 10 winners' names, 3 DenSure Fit kits, 4 of the full Dr. B's Dental Solutions kits that includes the sonic cleaners, and 3 of the Cute water flossers. So if you are watching this and you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and I will post the video in the description that you have to watch and comment on to be entered into that giveaway. You guys have a great Sunday. Have a great week. If I don't talk to you before Monday, it's the 1st of October. Yay! Thank you guys, as always, for watching. Thanks to my subscribers. Welcome new subscribers, and I will be talking to you guys soon.